I had an experience a few years ago that I still can't explain, and I would like to hear your opinion about it. Before anything else, I want to clarify that I am writing this text in my native language and using AI to translate it so that my thoughts are expressed clearly. To provide some context, I live in an old apartment in Belgium, in the city center of Namur. The building used to be a large brewery. A few years ago, I was lying in bed and couldn't fall asleep, as I have always taken a long time to drift off. I even drew a floor plan of my bedroom from that period to make things clearer. Anyway, everything was normal. I was lying in bed, trying to find a way to fall asleep. Suddenly, I began to feel a strange sense of stress and deep unease coming from my bedroom door. I always keep the door closed because I don't like seeing the hallway, but I leave it slightly open so my cat can come in. I stared at the door and continued to feel an overwhelming sense of discomfort. It seemed to me as if the door was slowly opening by itself. I started gripping my blanket tightly and moving closer to the wall. Then, all of a sudden, my head tilted backward and I began seeing brightly colored spirals moving aggressively in every direction. I was trembling. This lasted for several long seconds before I reached up and turned on the light. Since there was a switch above my bed, I caught my breath, drank some water, and eventually fell asleep. The next day, my father told me that when he got up during the night to use the bathroom and checked to see if I was asleep, he noticed a silhouette standing near my desk chair and thought it was me. To this day, I still cannot explain what happened to me. I had several similar experiences during the same period. Another notable one happened while I was sleeping. I had what felt like a vision. It did not seem like a dream, because it was completely different from the way I normally dream. Usually, like most people, my dreams involve strange situations or adventures. This was different. I was not myself, nor was I another living being. I was more like a camera observing a place. The place I saw was an abandoned church in the middle of a clearing. There were ruined walls around it, covered in vegetation. I felt an intense need to enter the church. Suddenly, there was a flash, and my perspective shifted inside the church. I felt a growing sense of stress. And then, out of nowhere, it was as if an avalanche of white porcelain dishes crashed onto the floor and shattered. The noise was so loud that I jolted awake in my bed, instinctively covering my ears and turning on the light, just as I had done during the previous experience. I have no idea what happened. I do not think these were lucid dreams or episodes of sleep paralysis, because I was able to move and act during them. To provide some additional information about myself, I am currently 20 years old and come from a Slavic family. I recently learned that there were women believed to be witches in my family on my mother's side in Belarus. One of them was my mother's grandmother, and some relatives believe that she practiced black magic or other harmful forms of witchcraft that brought misfortune upon the family. For example, I have a cousin on my mother's side who was born with a disability, and some family members believe it is connected to the type of magic my great-grandmother practiced. I would like to point out that I only became interested in paranormal phenomena very recently, long after the events I have described. I am trying to determine whether these experiences can be explained rationally, or whether they could be related to something paranormal. I am willing to provide more information if it would help.